When your mind won't stop and nothing inside you feels steady, this is where it begins to settle. Thoughts keep moving, one into the next, without fully landing anywhere. And even if your body is still, something in you stays slightly on edge. You don't need to force that to stop tonight. You don't need to quiet everything on your own. You just need something steady to rest against. Because your mind doesn't settle by being pushed down. It settles when it feels something that doesn't move. Something consistent. Something grounded. Something your system can trust. And you'll start to feel that here, not all at once, but in a way your body understands. Like finally having somewhere to place your attention without it slipping away. You can let your mind rest here. You don't have to hold it together. And as you stay, everything begins to settle into something more steady, more stable, something that holds. Let your breath begin to settle without needing to change it. You might notice it's been holding slightly, pausing as if it needed to stay ready. It doesn't need to do that here. The inhale comes in a little more open, a little less guarded. The exhale leaves without being controlled, without being held back. And something in the chest starts to loosen, not all at once, just enough to create space. The shoulders begin to ease out of that quiet bracing, even if it's only a small shift. The breath moves again, in and out, without interruption. And the mind starts to follow that rhythm. It doesn't need to keep scanning, doesn't need to stay one step ahead. Thoughts begin to space out, no longer stacking, no longer pressing forward. There is more room now, breath moving in, breath moving out, steady, unforced. And your system begins to recognize it, this feeling of not needing to stay ready. This is what stability feels like, and it's already beginning. Bring your attention to the forehead. There may still be a slight holding there, like something hasn't fully switched off. Let that ease. The skin smooths, no effort behind it, like no longer needing to keep anything in place. Now the eyes. They may still feel active, used to tracking, checking. Let them settle back. The muscles behind the eyes loosen, nothing to follow. Nothing to monitor. Move to the jaw. If there's any tightness, any quiet clenching, let it release. Teeth separate gently. The tongue drops. The lower face softens. No need to hold anything in. Then the neck and shoulders. There may be a slight lift there, a readiness that hasn't fully left yet. Let the shoulders drop out of that position. The arms grow heavier, resting fully, no longer needing to stay prepared. Bring awareness to the chest. It may still feel slightly guarded, like it's been holding steady all day. Let that soften. The breath moves more freely now. Nothing bracing, nothing resisting. Then the stomach. If there's any gripping, any quiet tightening, let it loosen. The belly softens. No pulling in, no holding together, just a neutral, easy center. Now the hips, let them sink, fully supported, carrying your weight without effort. The legs follow. Thighs release. Knees loosen. No readiness left in them. Down into the calves and the feet. Let the feet rest completely. No holding, no balancing, just contact, stable, unchanging. And as your body settles like this, you may notice There's nothing in you trying to stay ready anymore. No part of you holding the next moment in place. Your body is simply here, supported, steady, at rest. And it stays that way, without effort. The space around you begins to take shape, not all at once, but in a way your body can recognize. A quiet enclosure, even, balanced, with solid surfaces surrounding you, not close, not far, just steady. The walls feel grounded, smooth, cool, holding their place without shifting. There's no pressure from them, only a quiet sense that nothing from the outside needs to reach you here. The light is soft, low, even, resting across everything without pulling your attention. Edges begin to lose their sharpness. Stone blending into shadow. Shadow blending into something open above. Not fully defined, but easy to stay inside. The air feels still, clean, dry, like it's been undisturbed for a long time. Each breath moves through it without resistance, as if the space itself is steadying your rhythm. There is a natural order here, nothing out of place, nothing waiting to be adjusted. You don't need to organize anything. You don't need to hold anything together. the ground beneath you remains the same, firm, reliable, carrying your weight without effort. And as you stay here, something begins to shift quietly. The boundary between your body and the space becomes less defined, not disappearing, just no longer separate in the same way. You are no longer holding yourself inside the space. The space is holding you, and it doesn't change. It doesn't move. It doesn't ask anything from you. Thoughts begin to pass through without staying. Nothing pulls, nothing follows, nothing builds. There is no next thing to prepare for, only this: steady, structured, undisturbed calm. And as you remain here, the need to define anything, to hold on to anything, begins to fall away. You are not tracking the day anymore. You are not inside the story of it. You are simply here, steady, quiet, held in something that does not shift. And your body begins to match that naturally, without effort. Something in you is becoming steady, not because you're trying, but because nothing is pulling you away from it. Your mind is no longer chasing stability. It's beginning to stay. Thoughts can still move, but they don't carry you with them the same way. They pass, and you remain. There is something in you now that doesn't shift as easily, something that holds, even while everything else continues. You are not following every thought anymore. You are not pulled into each feeling. there is space between you and what used to take you with it. And in that space, you stay steady. This is becoming familiar, not something you have to create, but something your body recognizes and returns to. You are someone who can stay grounded even when things are moving. Someone who doesn't lose their center as easily as before. You don't need to hold yourself together. You are already held in a way that doesn't collapse. And this steadiness doesn't come and go. It continues. It stays in your breath, in the way your body rests, in the way your mind no longer tightens. Even when thoughts appear, you remain where you are, steady. Even when something shifts, you don't move with it the same way. You remain. This is not something temporary. This is becoming your baseline, not something you try to return to, but something that stays without effort. And the more you remain here, the more your system accepts this as normal. Calm that holds, stability that stays, and you remain inside it naturally without needing to do anything at all. This steadiness doesn't fade when this ends. It carries forward with you, in the way your body holds itself now. You don't need to rebuild this calm. It's no longer something you visit. It's something you remain inside. As you move back into the world, this quiet order stays with you in the way you breathe, in the way your thoughts don't rush to organize everything at once, in the way your body no longer braces before anything has even happened. When things feel loud or uncertain, you don't lose yourself the same way. You don't get pulled as easily. You don't follow everything that moves. There is a steadiness in you now that holds its place, like something set into the ground, not rigid, but unmoved by what passes around it. And you may begin to notice small moments where you pause instead of react, where you breathe instead of tighten, where things pass without staying in you. This is your system learning a new way to move, not by effort, but by returning to what is already stable. Inner stability is no longer something you try to reach. It's something that remains, even as everything else continues. And the more you stay with this, the more it becomes familiar, natural, automatic. Until it simply feels like how you are, steady, grounded, unshaken, and able to move through the world without losing your center. Your mind can slow now without losing its center. There's nothing left to manage, nothing to monitor, nothing to keep adjusting. You may notice it, that quiet shift, where your body is no longer trying to stay in control. The breath continues on its own. The body remains steady without being held in place. And that feeling of needing to stay on has faded, like something in you has stepped away and didn't need to return. The stillness deepens. A quiet heaviness begins to settle, not uncomfortable, but grounding, like everything is being gently absorbed into rest. The outside world feels distant now, like something that no longer needs your attention. The noise has faded. The effort is gone. Everything has already settled into place. And what remains is you, not the version that had to manage everything, not the one that stayed alert, but the one who stays, the one who doesn't move with everything else, steady, quiet, unchanging underneath it all. You are not trying to hold this calm. You are the calm that holds. And as sleep begins to take you, there is nothing left to return to, nowhere else to go, because this steady, grounded stillness is where you are, and it remains even as you drift, even as you let go, until there is only rest, deep, quiet, complete, and you finally at home within it.